What happens when you blend high aesthetics, blistering speed, and enough firepower to change the course of a conflict? You get the Dassault Rafale, a machine that's less of a fighter jet and more of a flying work of art with fangs. This isn't a concept for the next Fast and Furious set in Paris, although that would be cool. No, the Rafale is real, French, and fabulous. Designed to handle a full spectrum of missions with finesse and raw aggression, it stands as a modern icon of aerospace engineering. From dogfights to deep strike nuclear missions, this aircraft does not just participate, it dominates. The birth of a multi-role marvel. Back in the late 1970s, the French Air Force and Navy found themselves in a bind. Their aging aircraft were losing relevance, and it was time for an upgrade. But rather than each service crafting its own fighter, they decided to collaborate on a single aircraft that could do it all. Initially, France partnered with Britain, Germany, Italy, and Spain on a joint European fighter program, which eventually birthed the Eurofighter Typhoon. But France, being France, proud and perfectionist, wanted something lighter, versatile, and naval capable. After butting heads over priorities and leadership, France politely bowed out in 1985 and decided to forge its own path. The result? Rafale, which fittingly translates to gust of wind, and, in military context, a burst of fire. Either way, it's poetic. Designing a jet with style and substance. Dassault Aviation's Rafale, a technology demonstrator, first flew in 1986, showcasing France's dream, a sleek, twin-engine aircraft capable of air superiority, ground attack, reconnaissance, and nuclear delivery all in one airframe. The Rafale aerodynamic secret sauce lies in its delta wing and canard configuration. These aren't just for show. The canard's small forewings create vortexes that energize airflow over the main wings, increasing lift and maneuverability. It's like adding front fins to a racing car for better cornering. The downside? This setup creates an inherently unstable aircraft. But with instability comes agility if you have the computing power to tame it. Rafale uses a fly-by-wire system to constantly make micro-adjustments, letting the jet perform maneuvers that would otherwise send pilots into a spin. Beyond agility, the broad delta wings offer plenty of internal space. That means more fuel, longer range, and higher payload capacity. This is why the Rafale can fly combat missions with a range of 1,000 to 1,400 km, outperforming similarly sized jets like the F/A-18 Super Hornet or the MiG-29 M2. Power under the hood. At the heart of Rafale are two Snecma M88 engines, giving it a top speed of Mach 1.8 and a super cruise capability of Mach 1.4, on par with the legendary F-22 Raptor in this regard. It's fast, but more importantly, it can maintain high speeds without afterburners, conserving fuel while remaining stealthy. The canopy design and elevated seating offer pilots excellent visibility, and its ergonomically optimized cockpit makes handling complex missions more intuitive. In essence, the Rafale is engineered for human-machine synergy at 40,000 feet. Sleek and semi-stealthy. While it's not a stealth fighter in the same category as the F-35, the Rafale takes stealth seriously. Its design includes S-shaped air intakes, hidden engine compressors, serrated edges, and minimal radar reflective surfaces. The result? One of the lowest radar cross-sections among 4.5 generation fighters. And it's not just about being unseen, it's about being smart. The Rafale includes a clever optronique sector frontal system, essentially a forward-looking infrared search and track sensor. Mounted just ahead of the canopy, it provides passive tracking of enemy aircraft, even stealthy ones. When not in use, it swivels backward to minimize radar signature. Très intelligent. Avionics, the brain behind the brawn. The Rafale's central nervous system is an impressive avionics suite, built around the RBE-2AA radar, Europe's first active electronically scanned array radar. Though its initial range, around 200 km, lags slightly behind some contemporaries, upgrades are in the works. The RBE-2XG, currently in development, promises better range, tracking, and resistance to jamming. Its defensive suite, Sparse Item Value Computation Toolkit, is the stuff of electronic warfare dreams, capable of detecting radar threats, jamming enemy signals, launching countermeasures, and alerting the pilot to incoming missiles. Sparse Eigenvalue Computation Toolkit turns the Rafale into a flying fortress. It's the ultimate blend of offense and defense. The Meteor missile. The Rafale's offensive toolkit would not be complete without mentioning the Meteor missile, a pan-European marvel. While the US AIM-120 and Russian R-77 are potent, the Meteor's ramjet propulsion gives it an unmatched no-escape zone. That is, a range within which no maneuver can evade it. Speculated to reach 200 to 300 km, the Meteor adjusts its fuel usage mid-flight, allowing it to chase down enemies or cruise efficiently, depending on the situation. Combined with Rafale's advanced sensors, the Meteor makes it a terrifying foe even before visual contact. France keeps it local and lethal. The Rafale proudly carries a fully domestic weapons package, from the Scalp EG cruise missile, aka Storm Shadow, to Air-Sol Moyen Portée nuclear warheads, and Armament Air-Sol Modular Hammer smart bombs. Of course, it can carry NATO standard ordnance too, but France clearly likes keeping its tech homemade and Michelin star level, no less. Variants and upgrades. F1 to F5. The Rafale has progressively evolved through several operational variants, starting with the F1. The initial naval version focused on air superiority. The F2 upgrade introduced air-to-ground capabilities, while the F3 variant brought full multi-role functionality, including nuclear delivery. The F4 version enhanced the jet's performance with advanced networking, sensor fusion, new weapons, and AI-driven systems. Looking ahead, the upcoming F5 variant will further advance the Rafale capabilities with next-generation radar systems and improved data linking, enhancing interoperability with drones and aligning the platform with future air combat strategies. From export flop to global star. Despite its brilliance, Rafale struggled in the global market early on. American and Russian fighters, with lower costs or stronger political backing, dominated sales in the 2000s. France lost out on bids in South Korea, Singapore, Morocco, and Brazil. But the tide turned in 2015 when Egypt ordered 24 Rafales. Qatar followed suit, and then the big fish India signed for 36 jets in a deal worth $8.7 billion. This opened the floodgates. Greece, Croatia, Serbia, and the United Arab Emirates, with a record-breaking $19 billion deal for 80 jets, all joined the Rafale Club. The secret? No strings attached. France offered attractive loans, full tech transfer, and allowed unrestricted weapon usage, something the US and others often balk at. Rafale in the real world slash. Until recently, Rafale had not seen much high-intensity combat. That changed during the 2025 Indo-Pakistan conflict. Indian Rafales took part in Operation Sindoor, targeting strategic locations after a major terror attack. Although one Rafale was reportedly shot down, amid conflicting claims, it completed its mission by launching Scalp missiles deep into hostile territory. This marked Rafale's baptism by fire in contested airspace, with modern surface-to-air missile and Chinese-supplied J-10s using PL-15 missiles. Yes, it was a loss, but context matters. Flying into a well-defended zone with prepared adversaries is always high risk. The Indian Air Force stood by the Rafale, emphasizing its precision and survivability under pressure. So what's next for the Rafale? Despite that combat setback, Rafale's future looks dazzling. Dassault Aviation has more orders than it can currently fulfill, and new buyers continue to express interest. And with the upcoming F5 upgrade, the Rafale isn't just resting on its laurels. It's preparing for a future of AI-enhanced combat, swarm drone coordination, and cloud-based warfare. And that's a wrap on the Rafale. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Rafale and its jet-fueled journey from underdog to export superstar, go ahead and give that like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and remember, fly high, stay curious, and don't start wars in the comments section. Catch you in the next one.